Hello, everybody. My name is Richard Vigorelli, and this is Vigorelli Institute. Now, given time of year it is, we actually just had the equinox a little while ago. Two big holidays coming up, one of which being Halloween, the other one being Samhain, both on the exact same night. And we've also gone through three separate New Year's celebrations. I want to talk about something that's actually relevant to this time of year. Okay? I wanted to talk about this for a very, very long time. Some of you may know what this is all about, how to do it and all of that, but for those of you who don't, listen up. This might help you with it, okay? Some sunny day, which by the way is actually a very lovely sunny day here in Middle Tennessee where I am. So, rather appropriate considering I'm talking about something called the shadow. No, not the guy that knows what lurks in the hearts of men. Most of you might be too young to catch that one. What I'm talking about is the part of you that is your dark side, that is your more base. I'm not talking base like, dude, that is based. Well done, man. You're not woke. I'm talking that's more animalistic. That is more hedonistic. Okay? The shadow self is all about our darker impulses. This would be willingly wanting to hurt someone, wanting to steal, okay? Wanting to destroy things like civilization, wanting to just wreak havoc in general and take pleasure in doing so. Okay, that's what this aspect of the human mind wants to do. Whereas what is known as the light side wants to do the exact opposite. It wants to help people. It wants to grow things. It wants to build things that are lasting. It wants to innovate. Okay? It wants to bring people together in such a way that they maintain their individuality and maintain their own desires to want to do things. Okay? But desire is the root of suffering. Yeah, if it's unfulfilled. Okay, but when you fulfill that desire, the suffering alleviates. But if you never have any desire, then guess what? You never grow. Okay? And therein lies the shadow. Okay? The shadow is all about desire. Okay? And it's all selfish desire. Light side, its desires are more, shall we say, growth-oriented, but not necessarily for the individual. Okay? And this is where certain ideologies tend to grab both. Okay? And they tend to use these to their own advantage because, well, ideologies are just soft religions. That's all they are. No matter what that ideology may be. Okay? No matter whom you may serve, that is whom you serve. Okay? Now, on a societal basis, this won't work. Okay? This has to be done on an individual basis. And the person that does it has to be willing and able to do it. Okay? So, what happens? One second. Okay. So what happens is when you integrate the shadow, you tend to learn from it. You tend to understand it. Once you understand, then you can plan. Okay? So let's take this apart, shall we? Now, because I'm willing to bet most of you, if not a fair portion of you, of my American audience is probably Christian, or at least used to be. Okay? And of that, I'm willing to bet you are what I would call New World Christian, as in from a version of Christianity that started out here in the US, Canada, okay, usually not in Latin America, those tended to remain hardcore Catholic, okay? So these denominations would be Baptist, you can argue Methodist, but they're technically Old World. Not Lutheran, they're Old World. Same thing with Anglican. I'm talking like Mormon, okay, stuff like that. Stuff that comes out of the 1820s, 1840s, okay? Maybe came of age a century or two beforehand, okay? Where you get something called the Protestant work ethic, okay? Meaning this person works hard for what they get, okay? So what will happen with these individuals is they become disillusioned with things and they tend to lean into that shadow, okay? But because of their philosophical upbringing, they shun the shadow, okay? Meaning, no, I can't do that, I can't do that, I can't do that, until they finally snap and it overtakes them, okay? It's actually very sad to watch, unless you're evil, okay? So what happens is the person downspins, okay? They go on benders, do all kinds of stuff. They lose their mind. And then they have a reawakening of faith and they come back, okay? This, by the way, happens everywhere, okay? But it is rather particular here in the US, okay? Now, in other such religions outside of Christianity, I might ask, this, yes, does happen. Many of the Eastern, more philosophical-based religions, like, say, Buddhism, when a person does this, they tend to be rather shunned by the community, and then they snap themselves out. Okay? But here, a bit different. Okay? So, what you do in order to integrate the shadow, you need to confront it. Okay? And it's not just, oh, it's okay, little guy, it's okay. No, no, no. Okay. Very first thing you do is you do not shun it, you do not push it away. Okay? Believe me, it's dangerous. Okay? Because of some very, very key things when it comes to things like, when it comes to psychology, metaphysics, and stuff like that, is whatever gets suppressed grows in strength. Okay? So if you don't want it to get bigger, you got to find a way, you got to find a workaround for it. It's really dry here lately. Which, for Tennessee, that's saying something. Now, what happens, okay, if you don't get rid of it, well then, that means I need to embrace it. No, it doesn't. Okay? You don't ignore it. Okay? You don't ignore those passions because they're part of you. Okay? Part of what makes you human. Okay? So what you do, this is where something like meditation comes into play. And no, you do not need to say Om. Whoever came up with that and started preaching, just say Om over and over again, because that's the name of God. They need to have their head examined. Seriously. Okay? They're not that bright. Okay? Anybody can meditate. It depends on what you're meditating on. Okay. Now, the way you do this is you ask yourself, why do I have this compulsion? Okay. What is this? Okay. Why do I need to do this thing that I know is not good for me? Okay. Whatever that may be. And yeah, you can rationalize it till you're blue in the face, but tell you what, ask yourself this. Is this thing making your life better? Okay. Can you honestly say that you have a better life since you've been doing this thing? Okay. Are the people in your life more reliable? Yes or no? Okay. Do you have more or less money? Do you have more or less responsibilities? Okay. Do you have more or less free time? Okay. Do people trust you more or less with important things that do not benefit you? Okay. If you're working a job where your boss is watching literally every single move you make, you've got a problem. Okay. Maybe something has led you down this path. Okay. To bet it has something to do with your shadow. Okay. What you do is you ask yourself, why do I have these compulsions? Why am I watching this thing? Why am I drinking this stuff? Why am I eating this stuff? Etc., etc., etc. Okay. This is where addictions come in. Okay. I will bet you money. Okay. It's emotional. Because something at some point in your life made you feel a certain way and you're hiding from that. Oh, because I've been there myself. Okay. Also, I tend to treat people like this for a living, so I kind of know what I'm talking about. Okay. So you go in and you find this thing. Okay. Now, depending on how strong it is and the way your imagination is, will depend on what it looks like to you. Okay. It could be a disgusting little thing, or some kind of shadow beast, or I don't know, a grubby puppy dog. Okay. Whatever. Okay. Either way, do not tell it to leave. Okay. It'll leave, but it'll grow in strength. And then eventually it will take you out. You may not die exactly, but you won't be you no more. You'll be whatever that is. Okay? Which probably isn't good. Okay? So you address it as though it is you. Okay? You welcome it. Okay, when I did this, see, I was raised that if there is a part of you that is not good, you need to get rid of it. It's bad. Okay? A mistake has been made, and that needs to be removed because then you'll be a better person. They were wrong. Okay? Instead, what I discovered is when you approach this thing, you don't lock it up, you welcome it into you. Okay? You take it in. Okay? Say, I understand. You don't need to be angry anymore. You don't be sad anymore. It's okay. Come here. You welcome it in. Because that thing is you. Okay? Locking it away is like lopping off your own hand. It's stupid. Okay? To which a lot of people will say, well, if your eye offends you, pluck it out. Isn't that what some guy in the Bible said? Yeah, he did, but you could also read that he was being facetious. Okay? Telling a person to grow a pair. Okay? That's how I read it. Anyway. So as you reintegrate the shadow aspect into yourself, what will happen is you'll start to see things different, okay? You'll realize behaviors that weren't good. You'll start to notice that they're not good. You'll start to notice that you gotta stop this, okay? And then you'll take measures to do that, okay? This is the outward expression of that refinement, okay? Now, when you go back into meditation, okay, that little shadow thing probably won't be there, but you'll feel this really weird heaviness, okay? Well, so what you do is you start focusing on building the better side, okay? Building the better version, okay? So, for example, let's say that you like alcohol, okay? That's fairly benign. There's a lot more, but it's pretty easy, okay? So, the reason why you drink is out of stress. Okay, well, why are you stressed? Why is this stress so bad enough for you, but everybody around you who's doing literally the exact same thing, they're not happy, but they're not pulling out a bottle of whiskey or a can of beer every few minutes afterwards in order to deal with it, okay? And be able to smile again, okay? Well, the reason being is they're integrated and you're not, at least by comparison, okay? So you start to find a workaround, okay? You realize that the stuff you're doing isn't good for you, and you stop doing it. It might take a little while, it might take some down step, but you stop, okay? Then you'll hit a really weird phase, okay? And this is where you get help. The relapse, okay? So what the relapse does is the shadow part of yourself realizing it's going to die. And it really wants to survive. So what it's going to do is it's going to try and force you into a relapse, okay? Keep you doing that thing, and then try and undo all the stuff, and it's going to convince you to push whatever it is away, okay? And lock it up, that it's evil, it's bad, you shouldn't have it. Yeah, don't trust that, okay? Because it knows what it is, and it's going to keep trying, okay? Say, no, I'm okay. Okay? Maybe not those words, but you get the idea, okay? So what you do is you do the integration again, okay? If you have to, get help, okay? This is where groups come in, okay? People that have been there, okay? That are a couple steps ahead of you, people that can be an objective ear and eye for you, okay? Rather than subjective like what you've got. Family members are probably not going to be the best option. Friends are probably not going to be the best option. But they could be. Just try and pay attention, okay? And try not to get lured into a cult. You're pretty vulnerable. Be careful. If they start saying, we have a leader and you need to give money, leave. Dear God, please leave. If they tell you, here, take this thing into your body and you will be made well, run. Bad. Okay? Don't fall for that. Okay? So, there's other stuff you can do depending on your religious and spiritual affiliations, which I'm not going to go into exactly. I'm going to let you figure that part out on your own. Okay? Just understand that you are going to have to ask for help. And you are going to have to ask for help from someone or something that is a lot bigger than you are. Okay? That's important. Okay? No matter what you believe, you are not a god. And neither am I. All right? Okay. Well, thanks for joining me for this. I'm going to go ahead and let you go. Need any help, let me know. I'm here for you. Okay? Be happy to give you some pointers. I will throw you a ladder, but I'm not getting into the hole. Okay? I've already been in the hole. I'll help you out of the hole, but I ain't boosting you up. Sorry, pal. Okay? All right. If you want to get in touch with me directly, feel free to visit my websites. The links will be in the description. And like, share, subscribe. Feel free to follow me on Twitter. Link in the description. Okay? You take care now. Bye-bye.